Here we go. We're on. G'day and welcome to Rad Dads and Lads. I'm Jamin. I'm going to be your host this evening along with some other freaking amazing lads and dads. Thanks for jumping on. Who here's a dad? Stick your hand up. And who's a lad? Woo! I'm not a dad, just a lad. Awesome. Well, I'm sure we can all agree we're all rad legends in our own right. Many of us have got a huge busy lifestyle doing the daily grind, whether it's at work or home, or there's, not usually a lot of extra time to do what we want to do more of in life. And tonight we're going to hear from a few blokes who've been able to create a bit of extra time freedom for themselves, for their families, and do what really matters, like going to the pub every night. Nah, just kidding. That's bad lad joke. You'll probably hear some better dad jokes later. But seriously, we've created this space just to share and showcase a better, smarter way of working and living instead of living to go to work. I mean, who here absolutely loves what they do? Most of us, sort of some of us. Is it something that you've always dreamt of doing and can't wait to spring out of bed each morning to go and do it? I know that, most of us are out there, we're the bread makers. We've got to go and need to provide. That's great if you're passionate about what you do and you're not worried about exchanging your time for money or building somebody else's dreams. We're taught from a young age to go and study, to work hard 40 hours plus for 40 plus years, to go and retire and have a nice holiday. I mean, whatever happened to living a life and going on holidays more often whenever you want? I just think that's just a crazy idea that's the way we've been brought up to live. And I think it's a bit of a crock, really. But, I'm stoked that I've come across an amazing opportunity that's completely changed my life and for the better in many more ways than one. And soon I'll hand it over to some other legends who are going to tell us all about that. But before I do, I think it's important to mention that for us to be able to really create a better way of life, we need to focus on the simple things that can make us feel complete and happy. I know for many lads and dads who are out there that are far from living a healthy life and living their dream life. And, what does that take? Basically it all boils down to how good you feel, what you're feeding yourself, how you're interacting with your life, what's going on. It makes so much sense. Eat crap, feel like crap. You are what you eat. So if you fuel yourself with the right fuel every day, incredible things start to happen, and you feel good. I hear lots of different things about different people alone that are around the way that are saying, they've heard of some disease that somebody's got. Most of us have heard that Aurelie or some family friend's got the big C, or high blood pressure or diabetes. There's all these kinds of different statistics going on that's getting higher and higher with all these different ailments and illnesses, and it's kind of worrying. And another problem I see, that there's huge stresses out there. Heaps of fellas are under heaps of stress because they are the bread makers, whether it's financial, emotional, mental. There's all kinds of different stresses out there, and there's so many demands on life to be the best man, to be that provider. And I think that if we can work out a way that can help alleviate some of these, there's a really amazing awakening happening, and there's so much easier ways to make some extra cash. And so we've got an amazing program and a product that can help alleviate some of these stresses. And I'm going to hand it over to the main man, Dion, who's going to let us a little bit more insight into how that's working for everybody and how it can help you and your mates. So, mate, if you just wave your hand, I'll see if I can find you. There you are, mate. And you are unmuted, man. Take it away, brother.
Cool. Thanks, Jamie. I'm Dion. I'm a wellness coach with our tribal wellness movement, and I love helping people to be healthy. And I'm sure that's what we all want. We all want to live a healthy and long life for our kids, and the guys who aren't dads yet, you want to be the healthiest you can be to do all the cool stuff that you want to do, like surf or, go kiteboarding or whatever, kite surfing. The thing is, we're not looking after ourselves as we should as guys. We know what we should be doing, but there's always a gap. And even when we do eat well, the fruit and veg we're eating these days, it's old, it's stored, it's sprayed, it's genetically modified, and it's grown in soil that's so nutrient depleted, it's literally dead food. Like that apple you get at the supermarket, it's covered in wax, it's been in a freezer for 6 months, and there's nothing in it. It's a dead item of food. And because of this, we're now told by leading health organisations that we need 9 to 13 servings a day of fruit and veggies to get the optimal nutrition to keep disease away. And I know a bit about that. I've been there. You know, I was always a healthy guy. I thought I looked after myself, but I kind of, you know, picked out on donuts and pies, and I was a chocoholic and a caffeine freak. And I actually ended up with chronic fatigue syndrome, and I was knocked down for a few years with that. And the worst of it, literally in bed for a year, where I was crawling from my bed to the toilet and back on a good day. And it was something I thought I would never recover from, and something doctors told me that, you know, that's how I was going to be forever. But yeah, with a lot of research and practice, I eventually pulled myself out of that, and nutrition played a massive role in healing myself. And since then, I've been on this quest for health and wellness. One of the first opportunities that sort of presented itself to me once I'd recovered was best mate of mine's an amazing filmmaker and videographer, and he'd secured funding to make this TV show. So he reached out and said, "Oh, do you want to write this TV show with me?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was, you know, able to read and write again when I hadn't been able to for a couple of years. So I jumped at it. And so we sat in my lounge room for a couple of months writing the show. And he pretty much spent the whole time giving me crap about my green smoothies and my raw balls and my, you know, healthy treats I made. And I spent equal amounts of time giving him crap about the amount of sausage rolls he could down in a writing session. Like, he was not a healthy dude. He was 120 kilos, and that's basically how he'd lived forever. Last August, he was diagnosed with bowel cancer and 2 types of lymphoma. And it was terminal, and he was given 2 years to live, and he lasted 3 months, and he passed away last October. He was also a dad like myself. He had 2 teenage daughters as well. And this loss, as well as my own chronic illness journey, both of which I completely believe were preventable, these are my greatest motivations for doing what I do now, and living the healthy sort of lifestyle I do now, and promoting health and wellness. So that's why we're here. It was about 6 months ago I was introduced to this amazing product. So it's Juice Plus, and this is what it looks like. And it is literally 30 serves of fruit, veg, and berries, encapsulated in a vegan capsule. It's 100% whole foods. There's 0 synthetics. There's no fillers. It's absorbed into the bloodstream within a few minutes. And the fruit and veg that go into these, unlike your supermarket product, these are actually grown in 10 meters of nutrient-rich volcanic topsoil, and they've sourced like the best areas around the world to grow this stuff. It's grown to the peak of ripeness, which then it's picked, and it's juiced whole, like seeds, skin, everything, and it's turned into this kind of a healthy slurry that the moisture is then eventually gently evaporated from, and that maintains all the live enzymes and everything in the product. And it's something like 10 hours to encapsulation, like from 10 hours from picking and harvesting to encapsulation. And so it's real food, and it's simple. And that's what we need. Like, we live in a society of convenience now, when it's so easy to go and grab a pie or a packet of chips or whatever, when it's, you know, just as easy to pop a couple of those, and you're literally giving your body everything it needs. They heal on a cellular level. And I mentioned my recovery briefly from chronic fatigue syndrome, but I was also taking this every single day. That's 30 different synthetic vitamins and supplements, and that was just to keep me going and maintain my energy levels. And I started Juice Plus in January, and I literally have cut all of that out. I just take Juice Plus now, and I'm feeling amazing because my body is being fed what it needs every day, rather than, you know, individual pick-me-ups to which kind of did this throughout my day. But what I love about these products is the vast array of ingredients. You know, there's all these things that we never eat. Well, I eat pretty well now, but, you know, there's like broccoli and spinach and kale and, you know, the entire rainbow is in there, and we just don't eat that. Like there's acerola cherry. I've never even eaten an acerola cherry, but there's 40 peer-reviewed clinical medical studies that say acerola cherry is awesome for your cardiovascular health and your blood flow and your lung function. And so if those studies say that's good for me, I'll eat it. And, you know, we all know what improved blood flow gives us. Hey, fellas, like we run faster. That's what it means. So, yeah, you think you're running at full capacity, but honestly, until you're on the juice, you've got no idea. But the coolest thing is anyone who can eat fruit and veggies can eat these products. And what's even more amazing about our company is the products are free for kids. We're the company with a heart, and in the world's largest child health study, they give these out. So these are our fruit and veggie chews, and it's literally the fruit and veg capsules mixed with a bit of tapioca starch to make it like a chewy lolly that's appealing for the kids. And whose kids eat kale and spinach and cabbage every single day? Well, my kids certainly don't. And I've got a 14-year-old who, you know, it's a struggle to feed her, and my 17-year-old works for a fast food chain and literally has been addicted to junk food for a year, which has been, you know, given my health journey, was just did my head in to see that. But when you flood your body with amazing nutrients, you crave more amazing nutrients. And that's what I've seen. I've seen that shift in my girls. They don't crave sugar anymore. They're eating more whole foods. My little one eats all the time, and my oldest girl is now trying to quit her job. She just completely changed her habits. She's looking for something different. So that covers your micronutrients in the products. The other product we have is our macronutrients, and it's these awesome vegan protein sachets, and they come in chocolate and vanilla. I've only got vanillas because the girls always devour the chocolate ones. They're always the first to go. But yeah, these have I think there's 17 amazing superfoods in them as well. There's like pumpkin powder, and there's pomegranate and mushroom powder and all this amazing stuff. And they're just awesome for pre and post workout. Since recovering from CFS, I couldn't train. I used to do a lot of weights and CrossFit and stuff, and I've missed that sort of thing. And since taking all this, I've been able to start doing some weights and that again, which, you know, is just awesome for me. But they're great for your morning smoothies or your afternoon pick-me-up when, you know, usually you get that 3 p.m. slump. That's just non-existent now. So yeah, that covers our range of products. It's simple. It's real food. And the thing is, if you give your body what it actually needs every single day, it's going to function as it should every single day. And yeah, it's time for us to get proactive as guys and really look after ourselves, I think. But the best thing about all this is not me rambling on. It's hearing from people who the product have actually helped and what it's done for their lives. So I think we'll go to Gareth now, and we'll hear from Gareth. Cheers.
Hey guys, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. My name's Gareth. I'm 35 years old, and as you can hear, I'm South African. Before getting on Juice Plus, my accent was a lot thicker, and I really battled with people understanding me, so it's really helped with that regard. But coming out of high school, I was always that kid, always that person that had problems with their skin. I had quite bad acne when I was younger, and as I got older through my 20s, that sort of developed into a bit of eczema. I've also had blepharitis in the past, which is, for those of you that don't know, your meibomian glands in your eyelids, they start producing a higher viscosity oil, and they tend to sort of block up, which results in some awesome sort of star-looking sores in your eyes, which is never ideal, especially when you're trying to pick up the ladies. And luckily, I've been with one that sort of saw past the blepharitis and saw the beautiful brown eyes and behind them. So we still good. And whilst I'm actually on that topic about girls, I don't know if, seeing as we're on a forum here where there are no girls involved, I don't know if any of you boys have also had some sort of improvement or some in the bedroom, because I definitely have, and we don't get the opportunity to really talk about it much, but we can have a thumbs up for anyone that's experiencing some improvement in that regard. So I definitely am. So yeah, that's been sort of, I'm 35 years old now, and I've been on the product for 12 months. I'm loving it. My eczema has subsided. My skin's glowing. My hair's growing amazingly, mate. My nails are awesome. But yeah, like I said, my eczema's gone. My blepharitis hasn't come back. I've also had, I've got another condition, also skin related. It's called a geographical tongue. For those of you that don't know that one, it's something with I don't even know what it is, but basically it's an overpopulation of cells within on your taste buds. But yeah, that kind of stopped me from enjoying my tomatoes and my red wine and all the finer things in life that I enjoyed. And since being on Juice Plus, I can get back onto enjoying those things without an inflamed tongue. So it's been awesome. I've loved it. I'm loving it, and I'm looking forward to where it's going, what my body's going to be doing for the next. Well, I'm going to be on the product for the rest of my life, so I'm excited. I think somebody else jumping on now with another product.
Yeah, mate. We got the main man, Josh. He's going to tell us a bit more about what's happening for him. You're unmuted, man.
How you doing, guys? I'm Josh. Yeah, I've been on this product for over a year now, and I was the guy that thought having a hamburger with lettuce, tomato, onion, and a beef patty on it was my daily nutrition. And one thing I know is that we all get Nana nutrition, and what that is you go to Nana's house and she's like, make sure you eat your fruit and veggies, and you're like, yeah, whatever, the whole thing. And I was that guy. But as you get older, you actually come to realize that you need all that nutrition. But let's be honest, I'm not the guy who's going to sit there and juice 50 apples and oranges and make a salad and the whole thing, which I'm pretty sure the majority of us won't. But there is some guys out there that love doing that, and props to you. But for me, it's not me. And when I heard this product is what it is, it just made sense straight away. The fact that I could get all my fruit and veggies and berries in a capsule daily, that was awesome for me. Now, the thing is, since being on the product now, I actually eat more fruit and veggies, and I actually do want to make a salad. So I've kind of flopped to the other side there with that whole thing. Since being on the product, I now sleep the best I've ever slept. I used to have nana naps every day, or felt like nana naps at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's no longer the case. I used to be the biggest sweet tooth, loved my cakes, and now my taste buds have literally changed. So that's all gone, and I got on the product for the long-term results, not for a quick fix by any means, and I'm excited what it's doing for my body and what it has done. Now, like Dion said earlier, we get the free kids product, and the amazing part for me was my boy had really bad eczema. He's 5-year-old, and he had eczema from the age of 2. It just came on for some reason, and he had asthma. Now, when you get that free kids product, I was able to give it to my boy, and within 40 days, let me give you a rundown. He had eczema where it was all over his arms, over his backs, over his legs. At nighttime, you could actually hear him scratching. It sounded like sandpaper at night. His skin was so dry. We'd wake up in the morning and there'd be blood all over the sheets from his eczema. And as a parent, that's pretty heartbreaking when you see that, because you don't know what to do. And you get the doctors telling you, oh, just put steroid cream on it, or just cut out dairy, cut out eggs, and we'd do all that and nothing would change. So adding this free kids product to his diet literally changed it within 40 days. It went from being red raw and terrible to next to nothing. And it's now been over a year, and he literally has not had any eczema on his body. He's no longer on asthma puffers. He's not been to the doctor once in a whole year, whereas that used to be a normal thing. He hasn't been to the hospital. He used to go to hospital all the time for breathing problems. And it's over a year and none of that has happened. And all we did was just add a daily dose of this product to his body, which he now also eats the most fruit and veggies he's ever ate in his life. And he actually gets it out of the fridge himself. So it's not just the product, but it's what comes with the product, the lifestyle, the support you get within the system. that's been life-changing for our family, and we're super excited as to where it's going and to help as many people as possible with his journey.
Mate, I love it. That's absolutely freaking amazing. It's so incredible. It blows me out every time you tell me that story, and I tell your story to quite a few lads, because it is something that's quite profound. It's amazing how the body can heal itself given the right ingredients. And most of us probably think we're quite healthy, but far from it. If most of us, like you, eating the hamburger, thinking that that's a good dose of nutrition. And, I think one of the most amazing things is to be able to get this product out there and talk to people all about it, how we're going to, learn more about telling other people. And we're going to hand it over to an amazing mate of mine, James, who is on the line tonight. He's going to give us a little bit of a rundown on the mechanics behind it and change gears on how we can get this out to more of us. So, my man, you are unmuted, and there you
Love
go.
it.
Take it away, bro. Thanks,
mate. That's quite the intro. And some great stories there from other fellas to follow on with as well. My name's James, and for me, I've been very lucky. 10 years ago, I started taking this product, and I feel, since then, I'd always searched for good health, and I feel that took it to the level I needed just to run at 100% every day and in top gear. I've heard amazing stories about this product. The one that hasn't been mentioned tonight is probably what it can do for you at 2 a.m. after too many beers, and you've got to get up early. A big handful then, fellas, and you're just going to top gear again for the morning. So, and I'm a bloke who does like a beer and working hard, so having a little bit of a secret weapon at conference or wherever it is over the years, it certainly put me in good stead. It's funny. I've loved the health. I've loved, call it community around this, and seeing many people from many walks of life really, get stuck into this and just love it. But the big game changer for me, for my family, for our life, has been the business behind this. And, those of you know me, my wife, Linda, she's a little smarter than me, because we both started taking the product at the same time, but she started doing the business ahead of me. And she's a smart cookie and really saw something with this. Whereas I was the guy that JMO mentioned earlier, I was the guy just hard at work. And I know that, that's what we're all trying to do, be the provider, work hard. I went to school, uni, studied, did all that, first job, next job, worked hard. And I really thought if I kept putting in at that level, I'd get the rewards, that I was chasing. And that was primarily money. I wasn't even clear on what I wanted the money for. I just wanted the money. I didn't grow up with money. My family wasn't rich or anything, but I just strived for that. I wanted that so bad. And certainly over the years, I think if you commit yourself to anything, you'll get better at it. And, I found myself in a good place where I was making some great dough. But, it slowly started to dawn on me that wasn't what all life was about. And I also started to realise that I was paying a price for that. And probably with my stress levels and, my mental, and I think JMO called it emotional. I didn't really have control of my life. Yes, I worked. Yes, I made money, but I'd find myself going on holidays and not being able to switch off, and then kicking into gear for work before I was even home. And that wasn't a great way to live. I'm a dad of 3 kids. If you're too busy to really enjoy Christmas Eve and the Santa photo, then something's wrong. And I was that bloke. And I was very fortunate that Juice Plus was there as an opportunity for me to make some money. And I saw some blokes doing it too. I saw my wife do it. She said, I'll out-earn you. And I said, righto, game on. And I saw some other guys doing that as well, and sort of thought, well, I could get left behind because I'd worked, traditional corporate, sort of life, organisational there. You come in here, you work hard, you get up, you get the next level and the next level. And I actually found myself a handful of times in different companies over my career working, just one below the CEO, reporting into him without the full stresses of owning a company. But what I found was that you really are locked in that spot. You've got to give your all. And when you do that, more productivity is expected from you.
Go inside now. Why are you in here?
Who's
Get
up?
to bed. Quick.
I realised that I didn't
Hey, go to
control
bed.
the money that was coming in. Who's up? I turned my volume down. I thought it was me for a minute.
Sorry, fellas.
I realised as well that I didn't actually control what I was getting paid, and that was very, very tough. I still remember a conversation, a broader conversation in a company, and in that I was told that my bonuses were axed and my commission structure changed, and virtually, literally overnight or in a minute, I realised I was going to have to work just as hard, and that's 60 hours a week, and I was going to get paid about 30 to 40% less, and that gutted me, absolutely. And it's no surprise or no lack of fortune that at the same time, Juice Plus was presenting itself to me, and I was seeing smart people, ordinary people, people from all walks of life enter this business and do well and rise to the top. And here's me, still stuck in my corporate silo. That's what I called it, where I didn't trust anyone. Actually had a job where I'd not only locked my office drawer, so my leads were safe, but my door. And by God, you wouldn't leave your phone out. Someone would nick it, take your leads. Absolutely shit. So Juice Plus presented something for me that gave me scope to grow and the true chance for unlimited income. And I'd strived for that, and I got to the top, and I'd realised that that doesn't really exist when you don't own the company. And I'd had my own business, and that didn't exist either, because that was more stress and less money. But with this, I saw people doing it. So I saw an opportunity there where, okay, there's unlimited money. There's actually quite a very nice, easygoing, relaxed atmosphere to work in. You know, if I did 60 hours a week and I thought, holy shit, I'll be the best in the world, right? But what I really saw that changed my mind was when I shared it with one person. And that bloke's on tonight. You'll hear from him. His name was Ben. And Ben put up his hand and he said, I like what you're doing. I'd like to learn about sales and making some money too. And I said, well, why don't you have a look at Juice Plus? And he did. And before the night was out, he said, I love that. And by the next day, he'd introduced it to his sister, Katie. And I didn't know Kate. And all of a sudden, she's interested in something I'm doing, and I didn't even have the conversation. And she introduced it to her girlfriend, BJ. And she introduced it to her mum, Lindley. And within about a month, there was another lady called Liz involved. Lindley and Liz were nurses in New Zealand. I didn't know any of them. I knew Ben, and we struck it off. But I thought, this is nuts. If I can actually have a business that grows itself, the conversations are happening around the world without me, that is the smartest business model I'd ever seen. That was unstoppable. And that was truly what I was after. And it was the power in numbers when I began to hear and see people talk about them that really, really made sense. Because if we taught just 2 people in this business and they went out and they taught 2 people well, we'd have 4. And if they taught their 2, we'd have 8. And if they taught their 2, we'd have 16. And if it kept going, 32 people. And I thought, imagine if I had 60 people in an organisation. There's me, I still have my job in here, locking the office, hiding the phone, being the silo, capped earnings, having stuff taken away, all the power of numbers. And it really, really dawned on me, because you love to think big, right? Imagine if I taught 5 people. Imagine if they taught 5. Now my writing's going to get skinny here. Imagine if they taught 5 and they taught 5. And I'll draw this number down here so we can see it. If 625 people, and I didn't know them all, I wouldn't have to know them all. But if they taught just 5 people each, we'd have over 3,000 people. And that blew my mind. That blew my mind, because that was a business that was unstoppable, that had unlimited earning potential. And I was in at that point. I got to retire from my corporate career 8 months ago, mainly thanks to hard efforts of my wife. And she was smarter than me, because she got in this business before me, but I get to do this full time now. I love it. And I'm not looking back on this. This is the big game changer. This is it. So back to you, buddy.
Hey, mate, thanks very much. That is mind-blowing. It's really puts it all into perspective of how it all works. It's just so simple, you know. Here we are thinking we've got to go out and work our ring out to go and, you know, earn $1, and you can do something so much smarter. We're going to hand it over to the main man, Josh, again. He's just going to give us a quick rundown on how we get paid. I'm sure all of us like the cash and what it's all about. So, mate, just let us know how it all works. Just a quick overview would be awesome.
Yeah, no worries. How you doing, guys? So, first of all, when I first got into the business, or when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, crap, is that one of those things? You know how people say, oh, is that one of those things? And I found myself saying that, not knowing why I was even saying it, just because I've heard people say it. But the reality is, where I was going in life, with my traditional business, was not getting me to where I wanted to be. One thing for sure was the guy doing one of those things was living the life I wanted, you know, whether it be surfing or going on holidays, doing the whole thing. So I got curious, and I'm so glad I did. And I had a look at what he was actually doing. And when I took a deeper look into this business, it was everything other than what I thought. So I'm definitely glad I got over that hump. I didn't want to be a salesman. I know that was one of my misconceptions coming into the business. The amazing thing is, in this business, we actually teach you how not to be a salesman. We teach you how to share the product. The other thing was, I didn't know enough people. And the reality is, like James was just saying, he only knew one person, and it just grew from there. And so my network didn't matter. But the cool thing is, my network has grown since doing the business because I put a priority on it. The other thing was, I didn't know anything about the business when I got started. So when you buy this business, or when you get into it, it's literally a franchise, and we have a manual, a day-to-day manual that teaches you exactly what to do. So we can meet the goals that you want to achieve, and we will help you achieve that. So you don't need to know anything. It's a teaching business, which is kind of cool. The next thing is how we actually get paid. There's 3 ways we get paid. So we get a retail profit. So basically, when we share the product, the Juice Plus product, with people, we get paid a retail profit at the end of the month. It's kind of like, you know, this company, basically, if I was to recommend this phone to someone and say, hey, you should get the Apple iOS 8 or 9, or I don't even know what it is, you know, and they go buy this phone. Never has Apple ever called me and said, hey, Josh, thanks so much for sharing that product with Jamin. Here's $100 in your bank. Never. And that's what this company does. They literally reward us for sharing this product. The other way we get paid is commissions. And as you move up in this business, you get different commissions spread out throughout the business, and they grow as you grow. The other thing that I really, really, really love about this company is bonuses. So I come from a building carpentry world, traditional business-wise, back in the day. And whenever my boss would bring in the new apprentice, and he would say, hey, Josh, can you train this guy to do X, Y, Z? And all of a sudden, my day has now just gotten busier. I'm still getting my 35 an hour, but I've taken on more work. It's gotten stressful just because he's an apprentice. Anyway, months down the track, and the boss says, hey, is little Johnny ready? And I say, yeah, he's ready to go. Boss says, thank you very much, shakes your hand, and walks away, takes Johnny away. And never once did he pay me extra money for training this guy, even though my workload was more. So this company, Juice Plus, they literally look after us. They want us to teach people really well. And the way they do that, they reward us for teaching these guys to do well, which they give us bonuses. And there's multiple bonuses on this journey. So just one of the first ones, for example, the first milestones that we get is if you hit a certain level within your first 40 days, you get a $400 bonus for doing so. And because we taught that person how to do it, you're going to get a $400 bonus. And I love that about this business. I love the culture that they're investing in us to invest in others. And that's something I'd love being a part of. And as you look deeper into the business, and if you were to jump on board, you would see there's bonuses all the way along. You know, it goes from 600 to 1,200 to 3,000. It just keeps going. As your business grows, bonus grows. When we help people reach their bonuses, you get a bonus. And I love that about this business. So it's pretty cool. So now to bring this business to life, we're going to hand it over to, I think we're going over to Benny to hear how this business and what he's excited about and what it's done in his life. So hand that over
What's
to Benny.
up, everyone? I'm unmuted. Oh, thanks so much, brother. What's up, everyone? So I'm Benny. I'm 25 years old, originally from a little town in New Zealand with about 2,000 people there. So I joined this business a little over a year and a half ago. I was introduced by my main man Jimmy James. And I actually joined, so coming from New Zealand, I've been in like trades all my life. And I don't mean good trades, I mean like labouring for everyone and getting paid not much money. In New Zealand, the most I got paid was $18 an hour. So coming to Australia, I thought I had like the golden ticket. Like, you know, I came here and I got $22 straight away. Instantly thought I was rich, calling my friends. I'm like, boys, you got to move over here. I'm killing it. I'm working in a bar. Like, it was a good time, man. And I had a whole lot of fun. You know what? I was like 22 when I came over. I partied a lot. But then it started to click. Like, what am I doing? Am I just going to keep doing this all my life? I actually met someone and they were in some intense business stuff. And it kind of like made me think, why haven't I ever looked at that? You know, I always got taught the 3 ways to go outside of school, like start your own business, which was not an option for me. Never thought I was smart enough, although I wanted to. Go to university, and sadly, I didn't actually pass school, so I didn't get a chance for that or get a job. And, you know, I went into that job and just went hard at it. I thought if I work hard, I'll be that dude, like turn up. I'm there every day on time. Then I get bored of it. Then I change jobs. So what made me like change my mind and want to look for something else was like, God, I just got bored. And I just saw like, what if I could live an epic life? You know what I mean? Not just an ordinary average one. So I started looking at property. Like, has anyone on this call looked at property investing before? Or thought, oh my God, I'll buy property? Yeah, a couple of years. And I thought, wow, this is cool. Like, I can invest in property and then that way, like, people pay me, like I rent it out to people. James was the one who taught me about it. And then they're like, well, you need 50 grand deposit. And I was like, oh, I started this because I was broke, you know what I mean? To make money. And then James said to me, you know what, if you want to have a look at something cool, take a look at what me and my wife do. And since then, I just jumped in. I'll be honest, I wasn't skeptic. I was looking for something. And I was like, how come no one told me about this before? Since then, so much has happened. Like, you wouldn't even recognize the dude I was before I started this. I was anxious, panic attacks, scared of so much stuff. And now I've been to like America twice. We just got back from Coachella, LA, Vegas, killer time. Took me and my fiance to Hawaii in the first couple of months I did this business. I've earned, it's almost 30 grand or just over 30 grand part-time, like from my phone, like from my laptop. I don't need anything. And it's just amped me up to retire, and we just created an epic crew, fun people to work with. You know, like, I don't have stingy bosses who like don't even shout me lunch now. Like, we have just good times in general. And for me, like, I just want to have fun, you know what? And that old way of working, which I was taught by my dad and by my mum and by pretty much everyone in the world, like, it's just slowly disappearing with these magical cell phones and online internet stuff. So I love this. And thanks for letting me share, guys. Hope you're having an absolutely beautiful day, and pass it on to the next one.
Awesome, man. We're going to hear from a main man, Anthony. Here are, mate.
Can everyone hear me? Just sometimes. Can I get a wave, Jimmy?
Awesome.
Sometimes our laptop doesn't play. Anthony's my name. I'm a chiropractor, soon to say was a chiropractor. I definitely know that someone saw something in me as a late teen. I was just a pimply, surfy kid from Ballina and didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I rocked into this chiropractic office and I thought, this is cool. He's helping people. He's got a great lifestyle. This is it for me. And so he took me under his wing and off I went. And so it was 8 years of study and 3 different degrees and, you know, went about building business. And so we had 5 chiropractic centres and each one was probably a couple hunch to open the doors. And I had a vision to have 100 of those centres. So I wanted to make a difference in a big way. But got to number 5 and we are eyeball deep in debt and staff. And I've got 3 kids under 5 and not having the best relationship that I kind of visioned and not getting to spend the time to do the things I loved. So although I was helping lots of people, it was sacrificing my own values. And I'd watched James and his wife Linda and some other friends of ours start to crack on with this. And I'm like, that's cool, but I'm not being one of those people. But then I heard stories and I'm watching what they're doing, and I just had to drop the ego and take a closer look. And when I did, I was like, damn, they're helping people on a huge scale, internationally, no risk, $165. It's like half a good night out. And, just really getting some phenomenal returns. And so, like Josh said, my biggest thing was time. I was like, I'm redlining already. We're doing 16 to 18 hour days. But it was just literally for us 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day and just being consistent. And so, within a short period of time, we had to get our questions answered. So I went to the States and we went to the conference, and I just saw, almost 10,000 people stacked into a room, lit up, wanting to make a difference. And I saw the company behind it, and I saw it had been around for 47 years. And I looked at the financials, and I was just like, this is rock solid. And so at that point it was like, well, let's give this a good shot. So, a couple of years in, my wife, she hit the top level. And I'm happy to share, at that point, she was on about 20 grand a month. And, Josh was talking about the bonuses. You collect a nice $10,000 bonus at that point. And so we ditched 4 of the 5 centers, and we certainly saw the light at the end of the tunnel. And so it was a huge deal for me to put my last practice on the market. My identity was a chiropractor. But I am ecstatic. I can't even describe the feeling to say that that's got a contract on it, and it wraps up next month. And I always had this vision of being retired at 40. But no real clear way on how to do it. But lo and behold, next year I turn 40. And when I mean retired, it doesn't mean sitting in a rocking chair and, knitting. It means I'm not dependent on a job. I don't have to be at a certain place to create income. We've set up our structure and everything, and so that life is working for us. And so, life looks freaking amazing now. I get to coach my kids' soccer teams, and I kite surf and surf and ride dirt bikes and go to the snow a couple of times a year, and we're off to the Maldives, and it's just insane. And so, I'm also about to hit that top level. And so it's well and truly replaced our income. And I look at the 8 years of study it took to get my traditional business going and, investing about $1 million. And then I look at this, and we're literally helping people now who go, 2 hands up, I'm in, teach me. They lay down their $165 and off they go. They're generating income. It's really just a smart system when you look at it. And if you look at, if you're going to choose a business model, you couldn't deny that it would be online. It wouldn't involve staff, that it would be a consumable, that you could do it globally, that the product would be drop shipped. You wouldn't have to hold stock. When you really just boil it down and look at it as a pure business opportunity, there's nothing that comes close. You look at it, it's got to make an impact on people. It's got to add value. People can take it from womb to the tomb, but it just ticks all of the boxes. And I think that's why right now, there's 30 crazy guys on the line going, well, I've got to take a better look at this, because I don't think it has to be how our parents taught us, that you work hard and you've got to just sacrifice so much to get ahead. With technology now, with the internet, people are very comfortable in purchasing online. People are very comfortable getting suggestions how to live their life from a Facebook post. And so if we're not keeping up with those times, we're just going to get further and further behind. And so I think to wrap it up, it's just going, man, if not this, then what? We're going to go back to the job. We're going to go back to, what we have been doing. If you do that, we can already predict where you're going to be in 5 to 10 years. And that's kind of in the same situation. As Ben alluded to, you can create residual income through property. I think about what you do need to invest, the risks with that. You can play the stock market, you can try and invent something and get royalties off it. But for such a small investment and to get such incredible returns, I think people are crazy not to give this a good crack. So thanks for having me on. I think at this point, you know, if you're watching this for the first time live or as a recording, rather than answering all your questions, it's actually to get you start thinking and to ask more questions. And so, you know, reach back out to the person who invited you to take a closer look and get your questions answered. If you want to know how we get paid, if you want to know what's in the product, get all those questions. You got to step into this with certainty and make a good, strong business decision. So that would be my advice to you guys. Don't do it half-hearted. Jump in and give it a good crack, or go back to what you're doing. We'll still love you and have a beer with you at the pub.
Awesome, mate. Thanks, fellas. Love it.